Hello everyone, this is Incredible Fencing Podcast. For more information you can visit my website, subscribe to my YouTube channel or Instagram page. Hello listeners, this is Incredible Fencing Podcast. My name is Taras and episode 10 is already big episode number, right? So it seems to be I just started to do this podcast, but it's already 10 episodes gone, right? So for this 10th episode, I invited very famous German epifencer. Her name is Monica Sozanska. She's got more than 15 medals in different World Cups and Grand Prix. She was bronze medalist of European Championship in Legnano, Italy in 2012. And in generally, she's very strong epifencer. She's Olympian. She participated in London 2012. And in generally, she got a lot of fencing experience, right? I think it's more than 20 years of fencing experience. Last year, she finished her fencing career because all the circumstances, right? She wasn't going to finish it probably, but after COVID pandemic started, she basically was at vacation. She was traveling to Bali. It's an island in Indonesia, right? So she traveled to Bali, and it was middle of March, and then the global pandemic happened to everyone, and of course airlines started to cancel all the flights. All the countries started to do all known restrictions, right? So that was pretty difficult to travel at that time. So she decided to stay in Bali for uncertain period of time at that time, because everybody thought at that time maybe this pandemic will finish quite soon. We never knew, right? But actually it's a quite long story for everybody, and finally, she decided to end her career as a fencer and focus on something new. She's got a few projects now, and in generally, there are a lot of things to do except competing by herself. But of course, Monica is a very experienced fencer, and competing in fencing it's basically huge part of her life, and it's not easy to make such a decision, but that's the way it is, and she started new chapter of her life, and here we are. I invited her to have a call with me and tell all of you listeners some interesting facts about her fencing career and her further plans in her life, and something else depending of the direction of our conversation. All right, so if you want to find anything more, you can just search it on internet. You can find many interviews with Monica. Even it's not in English, you can quite easily translate it in your web browser. Yeah, the same as I did. Yeah, so you can learn and find out many interesting things about Monica and about fencing in general. So I want to tell one more thing. It's just advertise my Incredible Fencing Podcast. So if you're listening to this, don't afraid to subscribe, so you're not gonna miss any further episodes. And if you are interested, you can also visit my YouTube channel. I'm gonna upload some funny, interesting videos about fencing as soon as I have more time. And I also have an Instagram channel and oh, that's my voice assistant in Chinese. Sorry about this. Let me turn it off. That happens. Don't worry. Alright, moving on. So subscribe to my Instagram page and YouTube channel, to this podcast, wherever you can listen to it, you can subscribe. You can leave some comments wherever you can, write it down. And also, I'm gonna upload it in Telegram channel. You can also search Incredible Fencing. And of course in WeChat channel for people who listen from China. And the next one is gonna be our conversation with Monica Sozanska. Here we go. Hi Monica, how are you?
Hi. Good. How are you?
Finally I found the way, because I was trying to call you from my iPad, but I just figured they don't have WhatsApp on iPad. So
okay.
I found my phone.
But you always can also download.
Yeah, I downloaded, but they still have they have some different version. So yeah, anyway.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah. Thanks for accepting my invitation for my podcast.
Yeah, I'm happy to. Thank you.
That was my honor to know you're gonna attend, because this is a new project for fencing. So it's kind of, I just found there is a lot of podcasts for the different kinds of sport, but not that many for fencing. So we do the podcast for fencing here.
Is this done for Shanghai or for China?
And basically it's for everyone, because everyone can listen.
Yeah.
And usually people in China, they don't really understand English, so only few, I think. So
it's okay.
It's more for the all around the world. Yeah.
For the fencing community around the world.
Right? Yeah, I hope not just community, but also somebody who is gonna accidentally find this podcast. Maybe he's gonna try fencing as well.
Yeah. Good idea.
So, how you been in Bali last year? How do you feel right now?
Yeah, I've been now for over a year here. I arrived on the 10th in 2020, and I have to say that the life here, I think it's during the pandemic much more easier. That's why I decided also to stay. Mm-hmm. We are more free, and I cannot complain. It's a good life here for me right now.
It's like a paradise, yeah. It's Paradise Island.
It is. It's beautiful. Always the weather is right. It's always warm. At least this all surroundings are beautifully perfect. You have the sea, you have the waves, you have the people. It's really, really nice here. It's
yeah, it's amazing. Yeah,
I love it. It's amazing. Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, basically
nature.
Yeah, I saw. I've just googled some pictures from Bali yesterday. So we are so jealous in Shanghai, because it was a really, really gray winter here. Really gray and rainy and cold. So we were trying to travel, but this time we cannot travel, because we cannot come back in this case, because the borders are really closed now. So that's it.
I was lucky here in Indonesia. I was traveling last year, a couple of months, because the borders within Indonesia, from island to island, were open. There were not so many tourists, so it was easy, even easier to travel than otherwise.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you traveled only inside the Indonesia, right?
Indonesia. Okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But
there are so many places to discover, and I have to.
Okay, so you basically I saw you were on different islands, and it was also very nice, I think.
Yeah, and some places are even from Bali. There were 30 hours to get there. So it's like, wow, because you have to fly, then you have to stay overnight, then take a boat, then fly again, then take a boat, and until you arrive.
Okay. Sounds like a journey, right?
30 hours. So it was very interesting within one, country to travel so far or so long. It was fun.
Yeah,
beautiful.
Yeah. All right. Monica, basically, I prepared few questions. It's kind of, it's gonna be not like interview, but still like some sort of that. So if you want to, so I'm gonna ask you some questions, and you basically can answer on them, or you can even tell something more. You know, if you feel good. So the first question basically coming to the roots of your like fencing career. Yeah. So how did you start your fencing as a sport? How you came to your first training? And I know your dad is actually your coach, right? So
yeah,
which role he played to invite you to this sport, and like what did you think at that time, at the very first time you came?
Yeah, so my story is like this. Like we moved from Poland to Germany. First, my father year before as a coach, fencing coach, and then we followed with a family a year later. And and my father has had like a cooperation with school to do fencing training after school. So he invited me to the training because the idea was to like back in Poland, I was not fencing, I was dancing and I was playing piano, like very traditional for girls.
Okay.
But in Germany, my parents wanted me to have like more contact with the children after school, so we can learn quicker, German and integrate ourselves. So my father, he just invited me and my brother to the training to join. So that's how I started, and then very quick I realized it's really fun.
Okay.
So I really enjoyed the class and it was very interesting. I used to only watch my father fencing because he was a fencer, but I never tried myself before. And then when I tried, I kind of was like, wow, this is like very interesting sport. And each day I came, I learned something new. But back there, then it was interesting because until we actually fenced, like with all the equipment, it took 1 year before we just like did like footwork, learned everything, but we didn't fight.
Okay.
And then after 1 year, you did like a test.
Yeah.
And then you were allowed to fight. Because not nowadays you fight much quicker.
Basically,
like,
from the
just
first
start
training.
Fencing and you just yeah. No, it was not like that. It was very
wow.
different. And
Okay.
and then it was just games, coordination games, footwork, like also parades and stuff, and with the coach, but not fighting.
All right.
Well, and then and became more and more, and I preferred it more than dancing, piano. So more in the week, I started to join more trainings. Like first years twice a week, then 3 times a week, then 4 times a week, and then like increasing. When you get to professional, then you train basically like actually every day, or like you have a day maybe recoverment, but you train a lot.
So you became eventually you became a professional. So how many years it takes to become professional from the very beginning?
Well, it depends, how your development is, but it takes a time, right? Because at the time, you're a child or you're like a young person, and then you come to this junior times. I was in junior times. At the end, I was already in the. I didn't have my German passport, so I was in the Polish national team. And then when I got my German passport, and fenced for Germany, I managed to qualify for the German team then in 2005.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
So Did you ask your dad, like, when you said you didn't do any fencing like first year, right? So
Yeah.
was it some questions from you, like, why I wanna fight already, and why don't you let me fight?
No, but because it was at the time they told us that this is the way. If we stay, we have to prepare our movements. We have to learn everything. We have to, like, this was like we did have like we did work with the epee at the time foil. We started with the foil. We did work with it and made like, but we didn't have like competitions or really don't really fight. So we did. And this was only allowed after the test. But we knew it from the beginning. It was the way it was. So
Okay.
you were taught with fencing equipment, but not really like no competitions, nothing. Yeah.
All right. So, but it was non.
We knew it.
Yeah.
We knew it from the beginning, so it was there was no other way. So
Okay.
we accept. We were busy learning sports and learning like all those fencing movements and everything. Yeah.
All right. All right. Okay, but that was non-electrical, right? You just without any machines. You were just practice.
No, there was like we knew like they showed us at the end, but like real competitions were after the test when you pass the test, and the test is also theory and practical. And if you pass the test, then you are allowed to really fence and electronical. Yes.
It reminds me from some episodes from some movies, right? When the people, especially from maybe you watched the Game of Thrones, right? When that small girl were learning fencing, and their master every time was upsetting her. She is not ready. She's not ready, right? And then finally,
it's like this is the traditional way. Yes, and then finally when you're ready, then you go out and fight.
Okay.
Not from like this first time. Okay, you don't even know how to hold really, and you go there. And I think it's not the worst way because you learn very nice technique. And not because sometimes if you just start from the beginning, just go and fight, I don't know, you get bad habits or something, and it's hard to retrain to have a good technique. And for me, good technique was actually basically very important because I'm not tall as a fencer. I'm short. So I had to have I had to be very precise. So yeah. So that's the school of technique was for me very important. Yeah.
Okay. All right. That was a good answer. So question number 2: when you were basically young athlete, about like cadet age, or like when you were basically the student in your school and the athlete in the fencing. So how did you combine these two activities when you needed to train hard, right? But also you had to study, right? So
I had an interruption.
Oh.
Wait.
Okay.
Because okay. Now I think now it's better connection again.
All right.
Repeat, please.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can.
All right. So how did you, when you were young, about like 12, 13, 14 years old, how did you mix and combine sport training and study in school? So did it help each other, or you were sacrificing sometimes for school because you needed to train?
No. Yeah, but I think that in the young, when you're young, also you need the balance. So also, if I would not go to fencing, I would go maybe just play with, I don't know, Barbie or with something else. But it's actually very good for your for your brain development and for everything, not only. So it actually helps. You have like a hobby, enjoy it. So in school sometimes it's also not easy. So you have to balance. You after school, and at the beginning it was just like 2 times a week.
Okay.
So it's not really like 2 hours or something at the very beginning, and then it increased a little bit more. But it's I mean, you have a whole week, and then you have school always, your homework, whatever. So it doesn't affect in any ways, And then you also do something you enjoy, and this is very important. to have as a balance, to have a hobby or a sport you enjoy.
Yeah. Yeah, of course.
So I never had like thought of this, that I sacrificed something else for this, because I really enjoyed it. It was fun for me.
Okay.
Yeah,
So basically you were finishing your classes at school, and you were basically eating and running to the fencing training, right?
Yeah, but with pleasure,
Yeah, okay. Okay. Yeah, that's good. That's good. I think if you enjoy it, it's the best way to do the thing, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Okay, so coming forward, and I just checked your medals in your career. So you got in 2005. It was like very big breakthrough for you, right? So you were already you finished junior ages, right? And so in 2005 you were in top 16 for the first time, I guess. And you won World Cup gold medal in France,
Saint-Maur.
right? Saint-Maur.
Yeah.
So what did you feel at that time, and what helped you to do this like breakthrough? Like, so you were, for example, you were in the middle somewhere, like ranking like in the top 50, and then you at that year you kind of moved with a big step forward to top 16. You won a couple medals. Yeah. So what helped you?
Yeah, it was like the beginning. I had some goals before. I had some dreams, and I always wanted to attend the national team, to be able to travel the world. That was my motivation. I was always, looking up to some fencers who were in the national team, who came like from Sydney, from I don't know, or America, or some other countries, or even like Europe. And I was always like, oh wow, I want to travel, like, be in the national team. So I worked for that. So it was my goal. And when I finally 2000, I already had some good results. And then I was not, I was still not in the team. So it pushed me even more, And then I just believed in myself, because many people didn't. They said, yeah, you're too small for AP fencing, and you're not gonna make it. And I kind of thought, like, I don't know, if I don't try. I didn't like really. I just like found my way, proof, that yeah, still I can do it. And it's kind of, it was like the 2005. It was kind of proof to me and to others, like, yeah, it's still possible. So you can. No matter what size, or you can find a style or techniques and be successful and beat like also taller people. And that's how it worked. And also, for example, Laura Flessel was also always an idol for me, because she was like, so dynamic, and she was so good. And in actually Saint-Maur in the semifinals, I beat her as well. So it was for me a huge success also. And then I've seen in the final, I beat Imke Duplica, who is like, I don't know, maybe too taller than me. It feels like that.
Very tall,
she's
right?
Much taller. So yeah. Sorry. Yeah. And I beat her in the final as well. And so I could show others, and I could see myself that it's possible, actually. So that's how motivated me even more. And then since then my career really started, and I was like every year for many years, like at least 3-4 times in the finals in the World Cup. And then with the team, we were like, when I finally attended the team, we had like several medals from the World Cups, World Championships, and 2 medals in the European. So the career started with that, and with the belief and with the proof, okay, even with obstacles,
Okay, yeah, that's very amazing and impressive, I think. So basically, you just believed yourself. You made big goals, right? And you had
but believe yourself, but also you have really. So you have like, I had those like I had to find a technique or a style also which also suitable for me. So because it's from the strategy also so you have to work on it very hard. You have to find a good your favorite touches, maybe invent something new or make your own way to do it. So this is how and work hard.
Yeah, of course, hard work is also one of the biggest thing you need to do.
Even if you're so talented, you have always to learn further and further, and it never stops. And then I mean, also with the first success, I realized also next week I lost my first fight, and then it's like, okay, even if you last week won the competition, next week you can lose still the first fight. So it's not like a guarantee if you won once that you now always gonna be good. So you always have on point. So you always have to work on yourself, because also the mental, as you know, in fencing is very important. So this shows you very quickly that you have to work on yourself all the time.
Yeah, of course, absolutely.
But it's on the other side is very interesting. You don't stuck.
Yeah, of course. You just need to.
That's a good thing.
You need to move forward all the time. If you stopped, you basically go down, right? You don't need to stop at all.
Yeah.
Just move forward.
Yeah.
Okay, so hard work, believing in yourself, and maybe a little bit of talent, right?
You know, it's like, it sounds like, but it sounds like everybody says it, but actually it's true. So it's just not like you cannot just lie down if you're talented and everything happens. Like with everything, and that's you can just repeat to people, just like, keep going. This is sometimes hard because not every day you feel like, okay, I'm going to, work out and do my exercises and workouts. But actually, this is the only way to go forward. There's no other way.
Yeah, absolutely. So,
like not happening.
Can you share some of your secrets how to deal with tall opponents? How did you deal with tall girls against you?
Well, when you are like smaller, you have very constant and very quick maybe. So what I did was I would not. If I had to, then maybe that direct attack, but it's very dangerous because if somebody is tall, he just waits for it. So I had to do like a contra attack, or I had to provocate my opponent to do a mistake by playing with his blade.
Yeah.
So he opens up the wrist on the hand, so I could touch there, or I could one of my favorite touches was the foot.
Oh, okay. It's interesting, yeah? So you
Upstairs,
really like to go for the foot, right?
Above.
Okay.
And I really like to go for the foot, to surprise. You have to be unpredictable so they don't know. And you have to be also brave to come into the distance. And you actually, if you're smaller, you need the blade because it's very hard without the blade. Of course, you can on the hand, on stuff, you can do those touches.
Yeah.
But because you have to be able also to work with the blade.
Yeah, of course.
That's what was my
Yeah, basically you also need to find your distance, so with your fence against taller opponents.
Find your distance, and for example, So my favorite, I would work always with the sixth and the octave. So this was my two favorite parades or two favorite ways, to play with the blade. And I would be very precise and good on the hand because it's the closest place to hit for me. And
Okay, so
this is
so when you go for the foot, it also can be risky, right? Because if you miss, basically your opponent can hit you in the arm, for example, right? So which is more easier.
Of course.
Yeah. So it's also about precision, right? You need to be very precise.
This anyways in fencing.
yeah, of course.
Most likely.
Okay. the next one, we already about the middle. So the middle question. What about Olympic Games in London? So, what was your emotions when you got there, and how much pressure did you feel? And was this pressure different than the other competitions like World Championships or something else? Like, and
Oh yeah,
which
definitely.
advice you can give yourself? So if you could be your coach now and you coach yourself at that time, what could you say to yourself?
Oh yeah, that was like overwhelming because
Mm.
we had a hard time to qualify. We started the qualification as a team as number 1 in the world, but we we messed up some competition, and also one of our teammate got injured in the first competition, and was very shocking. She got an ACL tear, which was basically the end of her career. Yeah, and then some after it was already in the first competition, and then the other competition went not good, and very fast we ended up being almost like having a hard time to qualify. We actually qualified in the very, very end at the last competition, with the last fight for 1 point. So so it was a very hard way to even qualify. So I was really happy. And there, it was like my life goal for my sports career, to be a part of the Olympic Games, to become an Olympian. I always dreamt of it. I always wanted to go there. It was like, but it was always there. Like I always knew, okay, I want to, like, I will go there. I want to go there. So when it finally happened and we qualified, at the time I was in the individual very, very high ranked. Also in the world rankings, I was pretty successful. And so the pressure was high, because first step is you qualify and then you dream on a medal. But it was, for me, I have to be honest, very overwhelming. I was not mentally really good prepared for this such a pressure there, and I didn't even, because in fencing we don't really have those audience, and these big things. So this kind of overwhelmed me a little bit. So I was too nervous, or too distracted by everything around. So it's very interesting time, but it was also the best, like for the sports career. It was worth it, worth every second, every sweat and everything, because it's such an amazing experience. And I just can say that, okay, next, if I knew before, I would do more mental work in front of the Olympic Games that I did before. I was just like happy about it, excited. But I tried to concentrate on my training, but I would do now more like conscious preparation in my head about the competition days and about everything, what's going to happen there, to prepare myself to not be overwhelmed as I was.
Okay, so basically you were a bit
more mental work.
Yeah, you were a bit overwhelmed because of the public. Yeah, too many people at that time.
Yeah, the emotions, like everything. It's so exciting, and it's so like amazing. So the emotions are like really overwhelmed. Like everything is more extreme, when you're there. So when you're not prepared, it can be overwhelming. Some people can do it, but for me it was like very. So as I would now, if I would go back the time, I would do like more mental preparation, calm down, and more visualize maybe this before many situations, to not be surprised or overwhelmed by this huge event. Yeah.
Okay, it reminds me, like, maybe to prepare this kind of thing, you should come to China because some fencing clubs, they do some promotions in the shopping malls, it's kind of very crowded places.
Yeah.
And they invite some people to fence in front of the crowd,
Yeah, Of course, yeah. But it's not only the crowd; it's like the inner emotions you have, because it's such an important event. The crowd, of course, this is like wow, but this is just a small part.
All right, yeah.
So, but like to prepare you actually. We also, because of the pressure, also because of the important, and this has such big impact, for the support of the sport in your country, for your weapon. So this kind of responsibility to to make yourself more. You have to you have to go through it in your brain and with your emotions before more, I think. So this is like everything set and not like chaotic and coming then at once when you're actually there and fighting, and you have to concentrate. Oh my God, to not let any other thoughts, any other pressure destroy your concentration.
Okay.
So this is very hard. I wished I had have done like more work in my mental preparation. I did a little bit, but in my opinion, too less. I concentrated more on the physics.
Okay. All right. Physics, yeah. So
you have to work on both.
Yeah, of course.
And I would say like even this equally, because it's such a big impact what your mind is. You can be the best trained, but if your mind is not there, distracted or nervous too much, then your body is not working as you want to. So you have to work on both.
Yeah, actually, you maybe when you go to fencing in such competitions, you just need to focus on your fencing, right? Not on the other things. So which is not that important at that time, right? You just need to be on the piste, only you and your opponent, right? And maybe the referee. That's all, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
All right. But anyway, I think you won your first match, right, at Olympics, and you made.
But it was also like mental. I was leading like 14-10. And at the end, it was a 14-14, So I was like almost like, oof.
Oh.
It was a tight one at the end. So I was leading the whole time at 14-10. And then in the last minute, she got up. So.
And you get your.
In Kolobova.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I got my final sudden death. But that was like. Awesome.
Okay. And then I saw your picture from Olympics when you are sitting on the piste. Probably after that match, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't even realize what I'm doing. That's why I'm saying that the emotions in the Olympics are so much bigger there. So when I did the sudden death and I did this move and went down, I was like, after I didn't know what I was doing. Like I saw in the pictures, and oh wow, that's how I celebrated my.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Okay. Moving to the next questions. It's more about. And by
the way, it was good because I wanted to say that this was the peak of the day. They were streaming it all over the Olympic. So many people then. Asked me for it because they said, I seen the picture. It was so cool, like on the knees, and then that was
really
a nice
cool
one. I still love the pictures. They're my favorite.
Yeah, that was a really nice picture, actually. Yeah, maybe somebody can put this picture on the desktop like a screensaver, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
All right. So. The next question about less about fencing, but more about like what you do. So you at some point you started your project of fencing jewelry, right? It's fencing jewelry. It's called Mosix.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And yeah. So it's really cool. So you basically I saw you kind of make some ideas. Like and implement them in the jewelry, right?
Yeah, it's like as the story like it started. I was missing in. I'm a woman, but not only woman. But I love jewelry, and I always wanted to wear something what reminds me of my sport. But it's not exactly like back then. There was some, not so many, but some fencing stuff, but more like a gothic or like a really weapon. And I wanted something in my style, more classy, more like very like design style. So I thought I basically did it first for myself. I wanted to like have something on me. I know it's inspired by fencing, but you might not know maybe if you're a fencer or not. So this is how it started. I had a broke épée, and I went to a goldsmith and said, I want to have this around my finger and now around my wrist because I think it's cool. Because I was fascinated that when you fight with a épée and it breaks, and in the cross section it has like a kind of a heart, and this heart I never seen before, this shape, because you have all kind of shapes, heart shapes in jewelry, all kinds, big, small, white, bright, whatever, and this kind of, it's like, oh, this is like a strong heart, and I liked it so much, so I thought like, yeah, this is gonna be like this a good thing. So I made rings and stuff, and then because when I was young, always for the balance of also fencing, I had hard time when there was a pressure to relax. So every time I read a book, I like reading books, but not when I'm stressed. When I'm stressed, then I cannot concentrate. I read the page and I don't even know what I read. So the only way I could relax was just paint a painting, a picture, or to build something, like something creative. Yeah. Then I realized, okay, now 3 hours I did something, and I didn't think of fencing, I didn't think of school, I didn't think of anything else but only on this thing I created. So it was for me like a relaxation. So I always was into art, so always. So I started like to draw some, what I would like to do for my jewelry, and I brought my drawings to the goldsmith, and we were talking about what would be possible, what would look nice. And at the beginning, I was thinking to use the equipment itself, like the broken equipment, but for jewelry is not the perfect, not good. Because it feels on the skin much nicer if you have silver or also gold than this other material. So I decided, okay, I just take the inspiration. I take the inspiration from the forms and put it into the jewelry, and this is how it started. And then it did some for me, and then people started to ask like, oh, this is nice, looks very like unique and original and stuff. So where is it from? And I was like, no, I just made it myself. And so, oh, that's really beautiful and really unique. And then when I told them, it's inspired by fencing, so it was also like a jewelry with meaning. So they were even more interested. And these were also people not from fencing. So even those people are buying my jewelry who are not fencers.
Yeah, it's cool.
And so it has started. I do like little bit, and then now I'm in Bali. I'm working on a new collection, also, but it's gonna be in the future. I'm just now, working on it. So it's a fun thing, and it's from my heart, and it's connected to my sport, and it's a different way to also show fencing, in this art way, and I really love it. I enjoy it.
Okay, so basically, Bali. I know Bali is a very good place for the inspiration. Many people. There are many art people in Bali, so you also get inspired by that nature, right? And make a new ideas.
Yeah, there are very good, and they're also very good in jewelry. They have a good reputation when it comes to jewelry. So I was thinking a lot, because I retired my active, professional sports. Actually, I decided when I got stuck here in Bali, and but I still want to stay close to my sport. Because, you get older. I had my ACL tear also 2 years ago, and this is like you have to see what's your perspective. You have to accept also maybe your career. You had your best times, and even you have still dreams. Sometimes it doesn't suit to the moment.
Yeah.
So and I think for me it was the best time. Seeing also what's happening in the world, to retire, and I think the Bali was the best place for it too. And then after a while, at the beginning I couldn't do. I could not be also creative. I just needed my time to accept my decision. And it was also not easy because I really love fencing and I really miss it. But it was the right time. And then after a while, I started like to have like those inspiration and motivation to do like, it's also a part of me. So I want to combine it to a new collection as long as I'm here. So I started to draw and talk to designers here, and we're developing now a Lucky Me collection.
Okay.
Inspired also by fencing, but also by the story.
Yeah, we are very curious. I'm very curious to see it in future. Is it gonna be like some accessories for men?
During hopefully, yeah. Right now, I'm considering more women.
Okay.
It's easier for me. But I have a really nice thing already. Already 3 years ago, I did it for men, but I never released it. I should maybe, but I cannot say. It's inspired by the philosophy also fencing, like by one for all for one, like this is but I will release it this year too, but because I already have it since maybe 3 years. And I have it already as a prototype, but I never produced and this is actually in the first way I produced it for men because it's more masculine. Women can wear it too, but it's more masculine. So maybe I should do more also for men. But now I have the time. Like before I had fencing and training and everything. So I did it sometimes, but I didn't really have the time. And now I have the time, so I can put more work and more, more everything, more money, more work into this jewelry label.
Yeah, this is really great. And I'm very curious about the men's collection in future. So it's gonna be very interesting.
Now I'm motivated. Now I have a pressure. I'm motivated. I will do something.
So if somebody is gonna listen to this podcast, if you are interested, please pay attention and don't miss the opportunity, right? Because I don't think it's gonna be first collection is limited, right? So you can miss your chance.
Yeah, they're like, and they always like developing. So it's it's like because the things change, like an artist also like develops and change. So always like the first things I do when they like sold out, I might sometimes produce, but mostly I do something new. So they're like very unique because they're never gonna be again.
Yeah.
So it's like it's kind of because you go forward.
Okay, so we need to catch our chance to get it right. Is it gonna be delivery to? It's gonna be delivery worldwide from Bali.
Yeah, it is. Like basically, I will be. I'm doing like the prototypes here. I will produce some of those here, but then probably I do all the shipping and stuff from Germany because the company is like based there, and and I did everything before also around in Europe, and from there it's kind of, I think, also easier to ship worldwide from there. Even it takes time, especially right now, but from Bali is even harder because I know some people who it's more complicated. So I do all the prototypes here and then send it back to Germany, then the production there probably, and then from there I will see.
Okay, so we need to stay tuned, right, for the.
Stay tuned. Just tuned.
Yeah. So check your website.
Of course, épée, fencing, and also foil. I used to fence foil. Saber is very fascinated by saber. I would need more time and more. I'm more familiar with foil and épée and fencing in general.
Okay.
But this is And
right.
I think like the mask is my next. Also, I have some ideas from the structure of the mask.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's gonna be also cool.
All right.
Because I think this could look great. Yeah, so I'm like when I start talk about like for designs, there are like ideas 100, but
Yeah.
you have to do like step by step.
Yeah, you just need to have a time to make them real, right? These all ideas.
Yeah, to make
Okay.
yeah, exactly.
All right. So that's gonna be your next plans, right? After you made this
Yeah, this is
difficult.
like permanently my next plans.
Okay.
Yeah, I was asked now to write a book also, but it's just German. Maybe someday also in English. But so these are projects I can do from here too. So this I'm not bored.
Okay.
Even though I have much more time than I used to have as a sportswoman, so I can enjoy more, relax, and meet friends. This is the nice part also what I am enjoying right now. But I can, if I want to work, I can.
Okay, definitely. Okay. Did you write book? Is it about fencing, right? The book.
No, it's like I got asked from a German agency who are to write a book, but we are working on, so it's not set what it's gonna be. Right now, we signed the contracts a couple of weeks ago, and it's we're gonna find out, because it's not like you work on a concept and you work on ideas. You have to figure out what direction it's going. So. But I think definitely fencing gonna be a part of, because it's a very big part of my life, and I think it's more about to make this decision to retire, and
yeah, that
like
was
more a mental kind of thing.
That was difficult decision, I guess. Yeah, especially the world are changing and is changing, and yeah, so you need to. It's a big step, I think. Yeah, so you just need to make.
Yeah, it's a big step, and a lot of people, because I was in my system. You kind of protected. You're like used to everything, what's going on, and then you have to step, and you don't know how the future gonna look like. So it's not easy to step out of it, but sometimes it's necessary. So yeah, so more about, I think, part about doing decisions like that. But I don't know yet. Like we are working. I have like they're very experienced, and they're helping me, because I never wrote a book before, but they had worked with other personalities from sport or from television or whatever, so they have experience to find the right, the right subjects and right themes, and also to have a value for the readers.
Okay.
So it's based on my story, but unfortunately just in German at first.
Who knows?
But it's like a long time. Yeah, who knows? Because it takes a year at least.
Okay. Yeah. Of
so
course.
yeah, we just started. Yeah. So these are my projects right now.
Okay. We will see. Maybe we can translate it. Now we have many technologies. You just need to take picture and you can translate everything. So
yeah, actually, you're right.
Yeah. So if
maybe then not the nicest language, but it's still, you can understand what's there.
Yeah. Don't worry. I already live in China 5 years, so I get used to translate from picture.
You're a pro to translate from Chinese to any language.
Because
I wrote. I have a part. I have a essay. Another book is coming out in like March, and I was a guest to write an essay in it. It's very interesting because it calls like the Daily Athlete. And this book actually could be once in English, but it's in German. But my essay, it's translated. I have this in both. So I'm gonna post it when I think it's going out on the 23rd March.
Oh, okay.
And I'm really proud to be part of it, because they're like also basically German, but also not only German. Popular athletes also invited, like 10 people, to write an essay in this book. And I'm also a part of, so I had already a small exercise, tiny small exercise in this. And yeah, but the next one's going to be mine.
Okay, yeah, that's going to be really great, I think. It's going to be nice. Okay, so I'm not going to keep you so long, because it's already almost 1 hour for our conversation. So the last question maybe you can remember some funny occasion from your fencing career or something else. Can you tell us some funny occasion or funny story happened with you?
Yeah, funny. Yeah, funny stories. I was like, for the ones, there are many stories, but the one I remember right now, just I told you before that one of my favorite touches was the foot, and I was fencing against, it was a junior, I think, against Britta Heidemann in the semifinals, was in Budapest for World Cup. And we were fencing, and suddenly, like, I don't know what happened, but she stepped forward, she went back, I hit the foot, but only the shoe, because she lost it. Like, and it was looked so funny because the shoe was in the middle, and I don't know, I think they didn't count it just, but it looked like we were like both, what happened just right now? It looked so funny.
But did you get scored? A referee give you a point?
No, I don't remember. But I remember. I was like, well, it's not my problem, but no. But it was like we were like very confused, and both like standing there, and there was like just a shoe in the middle, and I hit the shoe, but maybe I hit the shoe, and then she jumped out of it afterwards. But I don't like back then there was no video. Okay. So we could not, like, it happened so fast, so we don't remember. But it was a funny situation.
Yeah, that was very nice. But maybe, that's a very great skill. Yeah, it's like these, these chameleons, when you take them by the tail, they go out and leave the tail with you, right?
Yeah, exactly. This is kind of what happened. So Britta was kind of a chameleon.
Yeah, maybe this is going to be next technology for fencing shoes, right? So if somebody hit you in the leg, you just get out and leave your shoe.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, that's all from me, Monica. If you have to say anything, do you want to say anything else to listeners, to the fencers who's going to listen?
Yeah, to the fencers, I would love to say that even though right now, and we don't know how long it's going to be, it's not easy. For example, in Germany or in other parts of the world, they are not allowed to train in the groups or from time to time only. And just to, stay on track and just do your homework maybe at home. I know it's not so much fun as usually, but, you have to get through this, and you have to be prepared for the time afterwards. So, so stay always and, remember why you're doing this sport, why you love it, and why you're working on it. And that's important for the future. And I just... I had some calls also with some clubs with children, and also the clubs were saying me that they're very depressed, and it's hard to motivate yourself when you're at home. I just want to encourage people. Don't think about how shitty it is. Just think about your goals. Just think about every little, even tiny little step, even if it's a short, it's a step forward. So just to motivate them to constantly work on themselves and stay on track.
Yeah, of course, that's very good advice. I think this time's gonna be gone soon. Yeah, we're gonna get through it, and everything's gonna be all right.
Yeah.
All right, Monica, thanks for the joining to our incredible fencing podcast, and that was my pleasure.
Yeah, thank you so much for inviting me to be part of it.
Yeah.
It was very fun.
No worries. Yeah, thank you very much, and keep in touch, and have a nice day, and happy birthday again. Hopefully you had a
thank you.
great party yesterday and enjoyed it.
I had a fantastic.
Yeah. All right.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you too.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, guys, that was our voice call with Monica Sozanska. And that was my pleasure to have such guest for the Incredible Fencing podcast. Thanks, Monica, again. And let me summarize our conversation. So we were talking a little bit about her beginning of Monica's career. Then I asked a couple questions about her peak of her career. It's Olympic Games, and a few more competitions. So she was pretty excited, and it was an absolutely fantastic memory to participate in Olympics. And Monica just proved it one more time. So Olympic Games is such an amazing thing for everybody. And further, we were talking about some other projects. So one of the Monica's projects, it's Mosik's jewelry. So Mosik's jewelry, it's jewelry made with ideas, with fencing related ideas, I would say, right? So this is pretty exciting, and if you are a fencing fan, you can check it out. You can just Google Mosik's and you can find this website, and you can purchase in future. Yeah, even if you live in a different country, you can arrange delivery worldwide. Yeah, just wait a little bit more time, and it is a pretty nice thing. And of course, Monica is gonna make more collections, so stay tuned and check it out. And of course, it's gonna be Monica's book soon, so probably it's gonna be next year. So we can't wait for reading that book. It's gonna be in German, but who knows? Maybe we're gonna have English translation, or maybe somebody can speak German and he can translate it to someone, right? So it's every time nice to have some content which is fencing related, and we can find out something new from the life of famous people in fencing, and learn something new and just entertain ourselves with our favorite kind of sport. All right, and I think this is time to say bye-bye and have a nice day. You are listening to Incredible Fencing Podcast. For more information, you can subscribe to my YouTube channel, visit my Instagram page or website.